Ugh. Oh, you?
Yeah, you.
Me? Oh. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nerdcore Movie Reviews again. It's Kelly.
I'm Rachel.
And we're here to review 1979's Alien. All right.
One of the first movies to have a female action hero in it. By far one of my favorite sci-fis. I love every single Alien movie, including Prometheus and Alien Covenant, that continued on the story. Well, actually, I wouldn't say continued on the story, showed the start of the story. But let's talk about Alien. I mean, I can't even remember how old I was when I first saw that movie. I know I was young, I just can't remember my age.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Still do. I have every single movie of it. Enjoy every time I watch it. I mean, the effects of it, the makeup, the graphics, everything about it, they just went above and beyond on that film. Especially for being 1979 as well.
And everything, speaking about how everything was designed, talking about environmental design, everything was everything had to be built from the ground up. You know, all the sets, the Nostromo, the alien craft, like everything had to be built from the ground up.
Yes.
There were some scenes where they used murals to give that sense of depth, you know, but most of it was built from the ground up. The costumes, the suits, the alien,
yeah,
the Xenomorph.
The Xenomorph.
Everything was, you know, it had that real feel to it. It's not like today's, where it's mostly done on green screen or on, I can't remember the name of that computer graphic CG that they used for like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. But it was that was what really caught my eye with this movie when I first saw it. Just how real everything looked. And by the way, it starred Sigourney Weaver,
yeah, sorry,
Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm, and John Hurt. So that was another thing that was amazing about the movie, was you had all these badass actors, these great actors. I mean, everyone did a great job.
Yes.
And one thing you gotta hand it to is the actor who played the alien himself.
Oh yes.
The Xenomorph. I gotta get his name. I'm sorry. Yaphet Kotto. Excuse me. No, that was not him.
Give us a moment here.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about what you like?
The one part that always sticks out, and I love, especially when I found out that nobody knew what was going to happen at that first chest bursting moment. None of the actors were told beforehand what was going to happen. So everybody's reaction on the chest bursting, it was everybody's legit reaction to it. Yeah. And it was like shock and disgust and what the hell is that?
What the hell is going on?
Yeah. I mean, I love that they kept that from every single actor, so that way they got that raw action footage of everybody's reaction to it for the first time. And I love that. Like, it's still like every time you see that part and like the blood splatters in their faces and they're just like, I mean, it's all legit. Like, they were not ready for that at all, and I love that.
Not ready at all.
Did you find it?
Yes, the actor who played the Xenomorph was, excuse me if I butcher this, but it's Bolaji Badejo or Badejo. He was a Nigerian actor.
He was very tall too.
He was extremely tall, extremely skinny, and he really knocked it out of the park with how he acted and how he moved. And that was another thing, was just how, you know, it goes back to how real everything looked and how real everything was.
Yeah.
Including the surprise scene of the chest buster, like you just said, and just how everything was put together. It was, you know, obviously, you know, directed by Ridley Scott, who is a freaking mastermind of directing and portraying feelings and emotions on screen.
Yes.
But I mean that that whole movie was just kept you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. Especially when you first saw the alien for the first time as well. Like, nobody expected that.
Yeah, no one had seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
You know, that design, which a lot of the alien, the architecture of the ship and the design of the aliens and the space jockey and everything, that was all designed by H.R. Geiger, who was a brilliant artist, and he really knocked it out of the park. I gotta use that term again. He really knocked it out of the park with designing something unique, new. You know, for the time it was unique. It was definitely new.
Yeah.
Something that evoked a primal fear in the people that were watching it.
Yeah, especially being in a dark theater too. Mm-hmm. And then at that time, like, there wasn't like I said, a lot of those effects that people got to see, and they just and I feel like that's why I've always loved late 1970s and 80s horror movie, sci-fi movie, because they will go above and beyond just to make it look real. And I love that. Like, it's just so I don't know. I love it.
They had to.
They didn't have much to work with at that time.
Yeah, they did. The term I like, the term that I'm sure everyone has heard at least once in their life was, they did more with less. You know, they did what they could with what they had, and people had to think creatively and outside the box, and it really worked for a lot of these horror movies that were coming out in the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
And especially worked with Alien. Which, why don't you go ahead and talk about your heroine there for a little bit?
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Give us a...
I mean, I feel like she was definitely a badass bitch. Like, she was the baddest bitch in that movie. And still to this day, like, you think of that movie, who do you think of? Sigourney Weaver. You know, I mean, it's like, she had to be fiercer and more on edge than the guys were in the movie and all that. I mean, obviously, like, she was scared shitless, I mean, as well as everybody else.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she had to take control, and then she ended up being the sole survivor with Jonesy as well.
Jonesy the cat.
Good old Jonesy the cat. But, I mean, and then to continue on into the other movies as well, I mean, like, the whole... I mean, it's not in the first Alien movie, but the whole, memorable line is, "You get away from her, you bitch." Like, I mean, like, everybody always like quotes that on like something, and it's just like, you always think of her when that movie is mentioned. I mean, it's like she definitely was one of like first little girls, women in general, like actual like badass in a movie that people paid attention to and wanted to know more and wanted her to be the winner and to make it out of there no matter what.
Someone they could cheer for.
Yeah, I mean, and it was nice to see a woman. It wasn't a man. I mean, she didn't have to. I mean, she was able to do everything on her own. And I mean, no, I mean, I take that back. I mean, she did obviously have a lot of help from other people that did die in the movies. But I mean, for the most part, she was the one that always made it out. I mean, and it's like, I mean, having that as a kid growing up, I mean, obviously I was born in the 80s, so that movie was well before my time. But I mean, growing up with that movie and watching it, like it was nice. I mean,
and
definitely.
It was all done in a sincere, genuine way.
Mm-hmm.
Like her heroism, like her growth from being, was she an engineer?
Yes.
Like growth from being an engineer on the Nostromo, getting thrust into this life or death situation, this insane, intense situation, and she met it head on. She took it head on, and it was a lot of quick thinking and fast acting, and yeah. I
mean, I always enjoy this movie. Like, it's, and I mean, to continue on with like the rest of the movies that came along with it too, and I mean, even when Prometheus came out and then Alien Covenant, like, it was nice to have a little backstory on like where these things, these aliens came from. I mean, basically, we're the ones that created it. The first human beings of us created it, and gave it life. So I mean, it's like we did it to ourselves, you know, releasing this beast of a alien monster, you know?
Perfect killing machine.
Yeah.
You know?
So I mean, it's pretty interesting, like as they go on, and then like, you know, as they go back on the story and continue from the beginning, continue from the beginning, basically. I mean,
Yep.
so I mean, it definitely top 5 in my list of movies for sure. Like, I mean, Aliens. I'm sorry, Alien.
Alien.
There, don't get it mistaken for Aliens. I keep saying Aliens all the time, but I mean it's Alien. But yeah, definitely. I'm sure. I mean, many people have seen this. If you haven't, I don't know where you've been at. Like,
You mean under a rock?
really, like,
Get out there and watch the damn movie.
yeah. Don't be scared. It's. I mean,
Yeah, don't be scared.
it's a lot of.
Watch it alone, in the dark, by
Yeah.
yourself. If you
the
haven't
best.
seen it before, do it.
Best.
I challenge you.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's all for this review on Alien.
Yeah.
So,
And I hope you guys enjoy the new backdrop here.
backdrop
We'll be flipping back and forth between the computer and
in our room.
In our room, you know.
We have roommates, so I mean, sometimes it's nice to just be able to be in our own little
space
and not have people either poking their head out, which is not an issue. But I mean, you know, sometimes you're like, if you see us like glaze over, it's because somebody walked out. We're like, oh hey.
we're trying to be professional.
Yeah.
Here, you know, for you guys.
So we bought a nice little Canon camera and some light ring and all that. So we have a little setup in our room for this. But yeah, I mean, definitely, if you guys haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do.
Yes.
Nerdcore.
Subscribe.
Watch our stuff.
Watch our shit.
I hope we're doing good. I mean, I feel like we are. Like nobody. I haven't seen bad comments. I mean, there's not many comments, but there's not bad ones.
I haven't seen anything like you scrubs or anything.
Yeah, like nobody talking shit yet, at least.
Not yet, at least.
So
wait, the haters will come.
Yeah, they'll come. It's alright.
We'll drink the hater.
It's alright. But yeah, so you want to tell them your Twitch channel?
All right, twitch.tv/K the Berserker. I'm usually playing Hunt.